Hello and assalamu alaikum. Once again, welcome to the mini to do app tutorial series. So in this video, we are going to talk about this nice little form along with the power of Formik and Yup for form data handling and form validation. So we are going to use two libraries for this form. But first, let me quickly demonstrate what actually we are going to build today. So right, if I start typing anything in the form and if I move away without fulfilling the validation criteria that I have specified, so it is going to give me this nice little message that says that the title is too short. It means that at least 3 characters are required. So if I move away from this field without typing anything, it would again give me this error, please provide the description. So if I start typing along the way, it is going to remove that error, and if I go to the maximum limit, it is going to show me this error. And now if I again specify, or I mean giving the correct data to this form, that error goes away, and now this form works correctly. And in here now, if I click on to this save to do button, it is going to actually send the API call to the backend to save this particular to do into the database. So let's build this nice little form along with the form validation, and I'm going to use this Formik build forms in React without the TS. This is going to be the awesome and the most famous library for building forms in React, and along with that I'm also going to use this Yup, which is the nice schema based validation library. So let's quickly jump into the coding screen to start with it. So all here we have built the header component in the last part, so let me close that and let me go to the components directory to create another component, which is to do form in this case. And let's quickly build a component, functional component right in here, and inside this functional component all I need to do is to create a form using a Formik. So for that, if I go to the Formik documentation quickly, so let me drag in here the second window and let me show you this. If I go to the documentation of Formik, and if I move all the way down by selecting the components area or section, and then I can find the form control link over here, and if I scroll down a bit, I can see the section, the form which is built using this Formik library like this. So for now, in order to work with this, all you need to do is you need two libraries, and these are supposed to be installed first before working with the Formik and Yup, and I have already installed, since I'm not going to do that again, but let me just quickly show you how to do that. Formik and Yup. So you have to specify this command. After hitting enter, it will take a couple of minutes to install these two libraries. Let me close it back. I've already installed, as I mentioned. So the first thing I need to do is I need to go to the Chakra documentation, and I need to grab this import first right in my component at the top. And then the second thing, I need to import everything from the Yup and give it name like Yup, and that is going to come from the Yup library. So if you don't know about Yup, this is the schema based validation library that is used normally with the forms to validate the input. So this actually has lots of rules that almost fulfill every requirement of your form. So if you want a dedicated video for the Formik and Yup, you can actually comment down in this video. I'll be creating the one for you. So right now what I need to do is this Formik. Actually I have imported few things from the Formik. One is field, one is form, and one is Formik. So now I have to actually use right in here. So let me start typing. I'll start the first component that is exposed by the Formik is obviously the Formik itself. So I have already imported it from the Formik. So it needs some properties or props. So let me specify the few props that are required for the Formik component. So the first prop that it needs is initial values. So obviously we are going to basically work with the forms inside the Formik. So the form is going to have few fields. Like in our case, we have the title field and body field, which we are going to establish. So these are the two fields. So these the data that is going to be entered in these two fields are going to be captured right over here like this. If I specify object inside here, and let me give the name of the first property to the title, and then the second one is going to be the body. So this is the initial value, the first prop, and then I'm going to give it a second prop that is going to take a validation schema. So the validation schema is going to be the object which will be actually having the rules, the validation rules for these two fields. So let me quickly go above this function and create the validation schema quickly. You can also you can always create the schema right over here, but I'm going to create it separately and then going to pass it right in here. So it's going to be to do schema, and that is going to be yup dot, and this is the way actually we create the schema, and this convention is specified in the documentation of the yup. So we do have two fields for which we need the validation criteria. One is the title, and we are going to specify the rule, and this rule says that this title should be a string, and that should not be an empty, means required, and if user leaves it an empty, we can give it a message, please provide the title, and then the minimum length of the title should be 3, and if user doesn't provide 3 characters, then give this message, please give 3 characters long. And we can also specify the max limit as well. So the maximum is 15, and if user enters any title that exceeds the length 15, give comma over here, and let me copy and paste it right for the next one, which is obviously the body. And again, it should be a string, it should be required, and please require the body, and then at least it should have 3 characters, and maximum it should have 120 characters for the description field. So that is the schema, and just pass this schema to this validation schema. And the third prop that it is going to take is, it is going to take on submit function, which will have all the values of the forms that user is going to enter. And for now we can specify this is going to be like arrow function, and for now we are going to set the console. So why it is giving this error? Okay, let me correct it. Let me place it inside these curly brackets. So for now we are going to give it like console and all the values that are provided by the users. And this is what now. So this is the basically initial setup for the Formik. Initially the Formik tag requires at least 3 things. One is the initial values, and these initial values are going to be the names of the input fields that we are going to specify inside the form tag. And then it requires the validation schema. We have specified the validation schema, and then obviously if the validation criteria gets fulfilled, all the values are going to be received right in here in the submit function.